Once again, welcome back to the program. ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਵਾਉਣ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਲਿੰਡਾ ਮਾਰਕ ਨਾਲ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਲਾਇਰ ਹਨ। ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਕੰਸਲਟੈਂਟ ਅਤੇ ਲਾਇਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਫਰਕ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਕੰਸਲਟੈਂਟ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦਾਇਰਾ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲਾਇਰਸ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੋਰ ਪਾਬੰਦੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਾਫੀ ਕੁਝ ਸੋਚ ਸਮਝ ਕੇ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇੱਕ ਸੀਰੀਜ਼ ਚਲਾਉਣ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਹੱਤਵਪੂਰਨ ਵਿਸ਼ਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਬੰਧਿਤ ਨੇ। ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੋਏਗੀ ਅਤੇ ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਇਹ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਐਂਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਸੰਖੇਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਸ ਦੀ ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾਵਾਂਗਾ। ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂਆਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਲਿੰਡਾ ਮਾਰਕ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਦੇ ਰਾਹੀਂ। Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So let a little bit about yourself, how long you have been in this profession and what all you expertise in.
Okay, I've been in the immigration business as an immigration lawyer for over 20 years. Started around 1990.
Okay.
And began really exclusively working in the area of immigration around 1995.
Right.
And have been working that way since.
Okay.
In terms of what we do in immigration, it's really broad.
Okay.
We basically, we've done lots of refugee work in the past,
Okay.
not so much now, but other than that, we cover virtually everything from federal court applications to skilled worker applications. We do lots of consultations with clients. We deal with applications for sponsorships.
Right.
It's very, very broad.
So varied work what you do.
Very
Wonderful.
broad. Yes.
Now, basically, if you could just give us a briefly a knowledge about what is the difference between an immigration lawyer and an immigration consultant.
Okay. An immigration lawyer is a person who has been called to the bar
Okay.
of one of the provinces. It's somebody, hopefully, who has the kind of experience that you need and the legal background.
Right.
And one of the differences I find with the consultants, particularly for people who are newly in the business, they've got some training often,
Right.
but not necessarily a lot.
Okay.
And so I find sometimes the depth of experience, especially
Right.
when you're dealing with complicated cases, isn't necessarily there.
Okay.
And there are also people that hold themselves out as consultants, as you know,
Right.
that don't necessarily have any kind of training or expertise or licensing at all.
Right.
Yeah.
The government of Canada has introduced a lot of new policies as far as immigration is concerned. So today I would like to focus on the major one, which is the super visa, and this has been introduced from the beginning of this year. So if you could take us and let us know about what this is and how is it impacting the system, and actually what do you feel about it? What are its advantages? What are its disadvantages?
All right, now I think I'd like to talk just a little bit, first of all, about why I think it was introduced.
Sure.
As everyone is probably aware, there's been a huge backlog
Right.
with respect to parental applications. And they've been taking upwards of 6 to 8 years for processing. And I think immigration found that was just not acceptable. And so what they did was they placed, first of all, a 2-year moratorium on filing parental applications, and
Right.
they're working at processing the backlog at this point, and they introduced the super visa to try to bring something in so you can bring parents here.
Right.
First of all, while these applications are being processed, and secondly, as an alternative to sponsorships. Okay, now I think there are a couple of advantages, I think, to the super visas. One of them is that people are able to get here much more quickly.
Okay.
The last time I read online, they were processing within 41 days. The amount of success with respect to the applications is 77%, which is quite high.
Okay.
And it's something that's ideal, I think, for parents who are able to come here for at least visits and
Right.
travel back and forth, because one of the things it does is it allows people to obtain 10-year visas,
Okay.
multiple entry, so they can travel back and forth
Right.
throughout that period, and they can remain in Canada for up to 2 years. Well, actually more than that. They can remain in Canada for 2 years. If they want to extend their status, they can extend it for 2 years at a time.
Okay.
So it gives a lot of flexibility that wasn't there before.
Right. Okay, so as far as the advantages are concerned, and you mentioned probably it was to remove that backlog, but do you think that backlog is having an impact? And as you mentioned that the success rate is 77%, but we are also getting a lot of complaints from people that while it was said that every parent would be able to come here, not all are getting the visas, and they are not being allowed to come over here. So what is your response to this, and have you received any such kind of complaints?
Okay. I haven't to date.
Right.
Okay, but it's still new. And I think only time will tell as to how useful it's going to be.
Right. But what is
Okay.
your personal opinion, like dealing with it overall when you study it? What do you feel? Is it good?
I think it's good. I think
Right.
because one of the things I find when I talk to a lot of Indian families,
Right.
and is that the parents don't want to come and live here quite often.
Yeah.
Parents are often wanting to come here for a couple months at a time.
Right.
And the only way they can get here, the only way they have been able to get here traditionally, is by being sponsored. Because as you know, visitor visas, so many of them
Get rejected, yeah.
get rejected. And so I think if immigration approaches this a little bit differently and doesn't look at, we start to see a better acceptance rate
Right.
than with traditional visitor visas, I think it could work out very well.
Okay. What is the criteria for applying for this, and who all can apply? Does a person who is living over here, who has to sponsor his parents, has to show his financial background, and apart from that, anything else also which he has to prove by which he can get his parents?
Yeah, they have to show a certain amount of financial resource.
Right.
And they need to, the only person, of course, that you can sponsor are parents and grandparents.
Right.
The individuals that are doing the sponsoring have to be either permanent residents or
Right.
citizens of Canada.
Okay.
The applicants have to go undergo medicals, and there must be a medical insurance that's purchased.
Okay.
For at least 1 year. Now, one of the things I've found about the medical insurance, though, is let's say parents are coming for 2 months.
Right.
If they were to come for a couple of months, they can, certainly with some of the medical insurance companies, they can cancel the medical insurance if they go back
Okay.
after the 2 months, so they can
Right.
get some kind of a refund, so it's not quite so expensive.
Okay. And towards the end, any resources where the public can go and have more knowledge if they want about the super visas?
Okay, well, we have a website, which is supervisatocanada.com. Individuals can also go on the immigration website,
Right.
and if people want to find more information, I'm available as well.
Thank you very much, Linda, for your time. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Thanks. ਅੱਜ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੋਈ ਲਿੰਡਾ ਮਾਰਕ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ ਸੁਪਰ ਵੀਜ਼ਾਸ ਦੇ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਵਿੱਚ। ਸੁਪਰ ਵੀਜ਼ਾਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਿਊਸ ਕੀਤੇ ਗਏ ਸੀ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ 77% ਇਸ ਦਾ ਪੋਜ਼ਿਟਿਵ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਇਹ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਕਾਮਯਾਬ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਫੇਲ ਹੈ ਅਜੇ ਸਮਾਂ ਹੀ ਦੱਸੇਗਾ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਨਾਲ ਮਾਪਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੁਲਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ, ਉਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਫਾਈਨੈਂਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਰਿਸੋਰਸਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਪਰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਕੁਝ ਆਬਲੀਗੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪੂਰੀਆਂ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਪੈਣਗੀਆਂ। ਅਤੇ ਜੇਕਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੀ ਹੋਏ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਸਕਰੀਨ ਤੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੋਈ ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ ਤੇ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ।